Hello, fabulous Leo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of April 2015, Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Where it comes to love, now there is sort of this very immediate connotation with some of the themes I spoke about in the general focused horoscope. There's such a focus early in the month on neighbors that this could be, I got to be honest with you, where the situation applies, a bit of a whirlwind romance might come about for some small percentage of Leos out there with a neighbor. At the very least, some sort of attraction that seems to, oh wow, engage you in some way. That leaves you feeling like, oh, what was that? That was pretty intense. Now, the thing is, there's not a lot of like stick with it kind of energy in the early part of the month. And so I would just advise you to be a little bit mindful. Like if this is a place that you plan to be in for a really long time, and this is a neighbor you've had for a really long time, just be a little bit mindful. You know, there are like sort of flirtations that can go on, and that's one thing. Be mindful. This might be a person that you end up seeing again and again for a long time to come. And so when there is some sort of a interaction or attraction that may sort of take you by surprise, this ultimately could be that game changer that changes your dynamics within your community and among your neighbors. And so what you don't want to have happen is for this to be a lot of drama for no reason. But be measured, be aware. And from there, I really believe that if you're aware and you're speaking to yourself and you're in tune for yourself, you know where your learning is, and from there you can't really go wrong. If you know where your learning is and you're trusting it and you're flowing with it, ultimately it is all moving you towards greater love and wisdom. So that is a possibility there if you're open to that. How far you decide to go with that, of course, also up to you as well. But one of the bigger trends that I'm seeing, or another more important trend I'm seeing in the context of love for you, has to do with the fact that Venus is going to move into a part of the sky that has to do with friendships for you. And so one of the more immediate ways to look at this is, okay, this is on the one hand having good times with friends, but also this is mixing friends and love, friends and relationships. So for those of you in an established bond, the sky does suggest that there's going to be some kind of greater need to socialize. So bringing the person that you love along for the ride as you socialize more, as you're out and about more with this person that you care about. Those of you who are not necessarily in an established bond, maybe just dating somebody, again, this is having to spend time around the friends, getting to know this person by getting to know their friends and vice versa as well. And, you know, we are always different. And I do think that there are going to be some Leos out there. If you're dating somebody, getting to know somebody, when you see how they are among their friends and the people closest to them, I think it actually might surprise you to realize, oh, wow, this is somebody really different in a different context. I know this person really differently. And I actually think that for some Leos out there, there's going to be this element, a moment, if you will, where you literally see them differently. You know, love requires an element of hope, of fantasy, of seeing what you want, if you will. It requires an element of seeing the best in people. Even if that's not always what they're presenting. And it requires an element of, you know, as it said, rose-colored glasses. Seeing with rose-colored glasses, that's what allows you to walk or begin to walk a journey with someone in the first place. And so if you're getting to know somebody right now, you're dating somebody right now, this is those, you know, the glasses changing, you changing the pair a little bit, and you realizing, oh, wow, this person actually looks different when they're among different company. I saw this person differently before. I'm reminded of, as another example, I'm reminded of one time many, many years ago, because this stood out to me. It was such a lesson for me. It was so many years ago, but I remember meeting somebody and just my immediate thought was, you know, oh, okay. And that person started talking, and within 3 minutes, they became so much better looking right in front of my eyes, because he was talking really intelligently. Like he was talking about stuff that I like to talk about, philosophies and ideas. And we were like, I don't know how it happened, but we sort of found ourselves in this really philosophical conversation. And that to me was a huge lesson. You know, that's the only time I ever met that person. They worked at a bank. And that was a big spiritual lesson to me because it made me realize how much perception colors so much of what we are drawn to in the world, really, not just with people, but in other realms as well. And so I share this with you because I do think there's going to be that type of moment for some Leos out there where all of a sudden you realize, oh, wow, okay, I've been seeing this person one way, but there's this whole other way of seeing this person as well that I hadn't appreciated before. Those of you who are open to meeting somebody new, it really is this whole idea of a friend becoming a lover, or at least you considering it, or at least having a flirtation that makes both of you kind of go, could we do this? Is this a possibility? Does seem to be in the air, okay? So that's something, it's up to you to decide if you want to pursue that. At the very least, it is going to lead to some softer moments that do please you very much. Now, do keep in mind that we do have Saturn newly retrograde in a part of the sky for you that has to do with romance. And so because of that, and because it's a retrograde, it's not so much about the new and the next and starting a new romance, if you will. It's a good time for reconsidering the love that was, or reconsidering your options in love, yes. And so it's a good time for thinking about and considering if this is somebody who you've had a flirtation with in the past. This could be a time when you say, hey, like, do we want to, see, let's hang out. Let's not just always be around friends. It could be that next step, that next slight step. But again, we do have a retrograde Sag preparing to leave Sag a little bit later this year, just before the summer, and around the summer, the start of the summer. And we do also have energy this month that speaks more strongly to changes and fluctuations happening, that it just leads me to believe that the stable energy, all else being equal, not seeing your birth chart, right? It might be different in your birth chart, but just looking at it from a general perspective, not a lot of real stable energy, but good energy to think about where you've been, what might be or what could have been, what you might be able to have a chance with now or not, and decide how you're going to move forward from there. And also just a great time to enjoy yourself, to enjoy your life, and to have fun with your friends. Good time to have a friend set you up with somebody new as well. At the very least, it'll lead to some really nice experiences that you will be fond of for a while to come. What I love about this month for you is the fun, is the joy, is the time spent with friends, because ultimately it is your friends that are going to show you, going to make clear to you that you are loved, not just romantically, but in another sense of the word as well, a more elevated sense of the word as well. And when you enjoy the company of others, that joy itself opens up the door for even greater love to find you.